Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to day 90 of Brighter Shores. So almost 10 more days until 100 consecutive days. We're almost there, SoonTM. But anyways, yeah, we're starting a little bit late today as, well, not really late, but you know, Mondays. Monday's always our catch-up day. Hey, I got my taxes done today though. And a few other errands. But yeah, we have about 2 hours so today. But tomorrow's game plan, so I wasn't, okay, a couple things. I wasn't able to get nearly as much woodcutting or carpentry off stream as I wanted to. Today's goal is for the next 2 hours, basically just get a bunch of woodcutting done. Then tomorrow, I want to start tomorrow's stream with 199 woodcutting and hopefully enough logs banked to go get 200. And then the entirety of tomorrow is just immediately go get 200 woodcutting and then boom, carpentry, 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 the entire stream until it's done. That is my plan for tomorrow. I hope, fingers crossed, we have enough EXP by then and everything that we will be able to do that. One thing that could go wrong is I didn't do the exact math on it. Actually, I didn't do any math on it for this. For a couple things we have. But for this, I haven't. So I have no clue if we actually have 200 banked. But fingers crossed, we have 200 bank. Obviously, all knowledge today and tomorrow will be going into carpentry. So unfortunately, we won't reach 200 woodcutting today, but we'll be working towards it. And I won't get it off stream. So we'll get it to 199 off stream, whatever we don't do now. And then tomorrow is basically just go claim our 200 woodcutting and then just do nothing but carpentry until it's done. That is the game plan. And then we'll finally have 200, 200 on the exact same day as well, oddly enough. And of course, we've been doing the smithing AFK as is expected. Unless I run out of complete money, in which case we do the merchant AFK if I completely run out of money. But anyways, let's go back to the farce. Yeah, let's go do some woodcutting. Anyways, hello, Isabel. Hello, Vernos. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But I finally got all my taxes done today, so I don't need to worry about that. I'm gonna have to pay in as per always, though. Oh, only Zans. Hey, Zans is still around. I could have sworn I heard that he quit for a little bit or something. But now he's still around. Assuming that's him. I assume so based on the level. With that high of a level, I assume that is the actual Zan. If that was a lower level, I'd be like, oh, that's probably not him. But at that level range, yeah, that's probably him. 3,800 something, that's probably him. Our number's been really shooting up lately, too. I've even been trying to climb leaderboard. And, oh yeah, he is back. He's even back on leaderboard. Look, only Zans. He's back. I think he took a break for like a week or something. I think he burned out or something. But he's back. But, yeah, we've actually been climbing a little bit, surprisingly. Not because I'm trying to, but because it's just a byproduct of what would happen if you're trying to get 200 all. And since we've really been pushing to 200 all, because I'm trying to finish it before Valentine's Day if we could do it. It's not too big a deal if we don't. But it's been a fun little like side goal of ours. Try to end up getting that done in time. See if we can get 200 in woodcutting, carpenter, cooking, fisherman, and forager before Valentine's Day. Which means we got 11 days left. Tomorrow we should be able to finish woodcutting and carpenter. Woodcutting 100%. Carpenter is up in the air, but I'm hoping that it gets done. We'll find out tomorrow. As tomorrow is pretty much going to be the all-elusive 12-hour carpentry stream we've been talking about. It's not actually going to be that long of carpentry, but, you know, however long it takes. It's not actually going to be 12 hours, but it will be basically an entire stream of nothing but carpentry. We'll do woodcutting for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then the rest is just carpentry. The only reason I would do more woodcutting is if I run out of carpentry supplies, and it's like, oh, we need a little bit more. Because I'm probably just going to get it rather than buy it. It's just way better that way. Plus, we do need some post 200 anyways eventually, so might as well get it now. But hopefully with all the knowledge that we're dumping into carpentry, it should be fine. As all these 12 levels of woodcutting is being dumped into carpentry. And obviously, as we're doing carpentry, everything will be dumped into carpentry as well. So that's pretty much the game plan there. And then we'll do something in Chapter 1. I'm not really sure what my focus is going to be for Chapter 1. As far as which one we go for first. I guess technically Fisherman first. And then we'll worry about Forager. I kind of want to do it some the other way around just so we can get a little bit of extra XP. I don't know. Haven't really decided yet. Because our current Forager route is what? It is a targeted focus. And then another targeted focus, and then another targeted focus, and then another, and then another, and then another. It doesn't really have any fishing synergy until 131. And even then, it's a fishing synergy that's only the co-op fishing synergy. It doesn't regain non-co-op fishing synergy until 149. Oh no, is that worth doing? It might be. Limpets are for 2 fish. It's for mana rays, and it's for, Gennards. And I think the next fish we have is Gennard. After we end up finishing a puffer eel. I'm pretty sure it's a Gennard. So yeah, maybe we do Forager first. As 149, we get quite a bit of a buff to our EXP rate. Compared to what we could have access to otherwise in the commonly AFK'd fish area. Not to mention that 161, we even get kelp too. So, plus if we end up doing just eel only, we end up getting wall plant. And or the other plant that's over there. What is it? Periwinkle? Somewhere's over here? Yeah, periwinkle at 179. So yeah, I think we do forager before fisher then now that I'm looking over this. Not all the way to max, but we need those better XP rates while we're doing fisherman. And to be able to access those, we have to go do forager first. Not completely first, but you know, get it to like 160-ish, give or take a little. And then really start going into fisherman. And then worry about cooking on the side. Also, I still have the contracts from like 3 days ago. I still have not bothered doing them. Poor chef. At some point, I will go do the chef skill. It will get done. It shall be done. Also, I have such a headache today, by the way. It has not gone away. It's just like a little bit of like a constant like ding in the head. Too many errands today. I'm like so burnt out. Honestly, I'm almost ready just to like crash and take a nap. I go to sleep like so well tonight. But I got all the annoying things done today. I'll need to deal with it for a while. I hope I don't need to pay too much back in for taxes though. Because all of our, pretty much all the money I make is like pre-taxed, or not pre-taxed, whatever you call it. Like it hasn't been taxed yet. I always have to pay so much in every single time tax season. Like I have never once got money back any tax season ever. As the type of money I make is normally not taxed yet. Which is nice because you get more of it to be able to use immediately and stuff like that. But it's bad because whenever tax season comes around, you just get like a gigantic bill for everything that you didn't already pay in. I said, hello, Amber! Welcome, welcome. I do have to say, after we finish all the forest grinds, I do have to say that, I like the forest more now. It's not that bad. I would still consider it the worst chapter, though. But I don't hate the forest anymore. It's actually a pretty good chapter. It's just every other chapter has better gameplay loops. I still hate carpentry, though. Though it is pretty chill how AFK it is. Carpentry definitely brings down the chapter a lot. Which is all we're doing tomorrow. Carpentry, carpentry, and carpentry. But then we pretty much never need to touch it again for a very long time. Just want to do any amount of post 200. But honestly, I would almost sooner get my ult to get to like 500 carpentry than train it up on this account. Oh yeah, one thing I was looking at though that almost makes me want to go do bone right. Some people have mentioned this in the past, and I only recently checked the shop. It looks like Chapter 5 will indeed have a different bone, as they currently have it set up. Because I was mentioning they may or may not, but according to the game itself, the game says yes, they are, unless they're changing it. Because I was messing around, I can't remember why I was over there, but I was checking the bone shop in Mind of Matube, oh yeah, I was on the alt, giving it the AFK because it's trying to finish out Lost and Found. I was buying its AFK material that it needs at level 20 bone rate to go get to 26. And I was double checking like the past action thing, or you know, all the like future ones. And yeah, it does show a bunch of chapter 5 stuff that you get from Delver that are armor pieces. Or what definitely looks like armor pieces. And it looks like you have to dunk them with the bone rate skill. Dun dun dun. Or do something with them. But yeah, it looks like they'll use different bones for making armor out of bone rate. At least that's what the game currently says. Of course, the game itself could be wrong because the devs change their mind. But the game itself says that there's going to be unique bones that you get from Delver that are going to be for making armor. So, yeah, we'll see if that actually happens. Because that means we might have to do bone right. We might have to do bone right. The worst comes to worst, I can still have my old account end up, you know, getting the bone right level and just doing it for us and everything. So to some degree, we don't need to do bone right, but I don't know. We'll see. For now, we're definitely leaving at 200 until it's an issue. Until the game physically forces us to get it higher, or we're not getting it higher. But I think for now we can get away with just keeping it at 200. But we might need to consider actually getting it up at some point. There's a non-zero chance we actually have to go get it up. I don't plan to anytime soon, though. And even if you do end up needing it, let's say hypothetically you do. Like, we don't even care about that too much. Like, yes, we'll need it for armor upgrades, but do we even care about armor at all? Because in the current state of the game, by the time Chapter 5 comes out, what on earth do you even need armor for? Because after the combat rework and everything, you're barely even going to need any armor at all. And worst comes to worst, you know, trading will be out by then. Guardian stuff might be a little bit more expensive, but, you know, you can still just buy it outright. At least if you're not staying Iron Man anyways. In which case, yep, you're going to need Bone Right. They were kind of already going to need 500 all three of them if you're staying Iron Man regardless. Like, if you're staying Iron Man and not enabling trading, you should definitely at some point soon be working on 500 Bone Right, Blacksmith, Stonemason, and Armor Maker. Is the priority to do that without trading is way, way higher. But with trading, the only two we really need is Smithing and Armor Maker. And obviously the Gathering skills to go with it. You know, whatever your main class is, plus Armor Maker. Oh yeah, also, by the way, we have no poll today. I just figured we're only streaming for about 2 hours or so no poll for today. We'll have one for tomorrow, though. I think we're going to do the interface poll tomorrow. Oh, we got Oaks now. I won't be doing Oaks quite yet. Oh no, maybe we should go say hi to them, though. You know what? I lied. We're going to go say hi to Oaks right now. I do plan to camp mostly, actually, let me go the other way. I do plan to camp mostly, where am I going? North. Mostly the ash trees. However, I do want more than 0 of these oaks, so I'm going to go do, like, a few cycles of these. And just bank them all later. Like, do, like, 3 sets of them, 4 sets of them or something. I don't plan to do that many, but I do want to do more than 0. Yep, we're already here. I'll do this room a little bit weirder than normal. Just because we're starting at not the correct location. But I don't plan to do oaks that much. We'll go back to the ash tree soon. And of course, as I mentioned, every single piece of knowledge we ever get is going on to carpentry until it's 200. Every last knowledge we have that we ever touch is going on to carpentry. Yep, we got a new AFK activity that we're not going to use. 170 is the number we really care about. As tonight, I want to go run all those swaths that we have banked. But I can't do that until we get 170 carpentry. And I can't do that until we get the knowledge because I have no way to do carpentry without it. Alright, in an ideal world, this tree would spawn in 2 seconds from now. Perfect! Wow! Gosh, I love that new respawn. That worked out so perfectly. Alright, now we're back in cycle. That could have not have worked out more perfectly than that. I wasn't sure if we were going to make it in time, but we made it, like, exactly on time. Like, with 1 tick to spare. But I'm only going to bank of, like, a few sets of these. I just want to have more than 0 in the bank. I don't really need them that much. My only concern for why I want to bank some of these is this does make the best green one-hand weapon in the game. And depending on how class proficiency works, as a Cryo Knight, we might actually need it. As Cryo Knight does not have any green weapon at all, two-handed or one-handed. And this is technically our best one-hand green weapon, as it is our only one-hand green weapon, pretty much. Because we wouldn't bother using the Hammer Mage one, there'd be no point in doing that. As the Guardian one would be greatly better, comparatively. As they're both going to have a penalty, but the green one has a better percent. So there is some use case for this. It makes the best green one-hand weapon in the game. At least currently, anyways. And as a class that has no green one-hand or two-hand weapon, it might be useful at some point. If there's ever a boss or piece of content that is weak to green. So I will bank every 20. I don't think it's worth trying to stay around for the other two. It makes the cycle really weird. It does make the downtime even worse for banking, though. But we're not really here for efficiency. We're here for the material. And then we're going right back to Ash Tree. Probably do like a few more inventories, then back to Ash. It's a little bit of a change of scenery until we're stuck at Ash Tree all the way till like 200. I'm not sure how far we'll be able to get on this stream. But we'll probably be able to get around 193, 194. Because we're probably only going for about another hour and a half until 7. Then grabbing dinner, then we do our Gems of War stream as we always do every Monday. And then tomorrow we should be back to a completely normal schedule to go completely grind out whatever's remaining of 200, 200. But most of that time, if not all of it, being carpentry. As by then I should have ideally 199 woodcutting and 180-ish carpentry. Ideally 184. Because anything that isn't 184 is kind of awkward. As the main thing I'm going to be mass producing is the ash plank. And we can't produce the ash plank if we don't have the level for the ash plank. So hopefully everything that I go do from the swaths and use gets us there. Because if not, then we have a problem. Because that means I might have to do some post 200 woodcutting. Just, not even because we don't have 200 banked. But because I don't have the level to be able to use my 200 banked resources. So we'd have to do any activities in order to go do that. And what better way than to bank even more carpentry just in case? Just to make sure we have enough. So that'd be the only reason we do more than 200 woodcutting. After we get it at the beginning of tomorrow's stream. Is we don't have 184 carpentry yet. Because that's actually kind of required to have by tomorrow. Or at least know for sure that we have it banked. But if we're like out of every single log of the lower tier and don't have 184, we have a problem. Because I can't use all of our banked EXP if we don't have the level to use the EXP that is banked. That is a bit problematic, but can be fixed just by dumping knowledge into it, worst comes to worst. I might have to do merchant for an hour or two or something. Just get the knowledge to dump into it. Yeah, well, you guys have been having a wonderful start of your week so far. Mine has been way too hectic. It's not even the end of the day, and honestly, I'm just ready to crash already. But at least taxes are done now. So I don't need to worry about that for till next year. Until next year where it is a headache again. There's that one guy called 50% Luke. I always keep wondering where the other 50% of Luke is. Because there's 50% of him, but I've never found his other 50%. Oh, maybe I have, and I just don't know it's him. What if we have seen him? Maybe all the 50% Lukes have been different 50% Lukes both times. And then we can make one 100% Luke. Also, I did check. When we were woodcutting Used yesterday, I did see Golden Rocket. He's someone who also covers content on the game. I think he has like a region locked account as well. Or more so zone locked account. But yeah, that level 500 something that we saw of Golden Rocket, that actually is his main. Or I think it is his main. He's the one he was streaming off of. I actually saw that stream. I didn't see the whole thing because it was like 5 or 6 hours long. I did catch some of it. I did double check, and yeah, he actually was at the Used the other day. That was him. It's amazing how many people from the community you just see like every single day, though. It's one nice thing about the server system and how it is. Is the player base is actually small enough that you will always see everyone. Unless you're doing a bunch of combat, because those have really limited amount of people in them. How many can spawn in a combat room. If you're doing like almost any other activity, if there's someone else in that room, you're pretty much going to see them. It's something the game would lose a little bit after the player base gets big again, if it ever does. One way to fix that is to have people added, or hopefully a clan system as well. We'll try to prioritize it. Because the game always tries to server you with whoever you have added. But hopefully it'll also try to server you with your clan whenever a clan system gets made. Yeah, one more inventory after this inventory, and I think we'll go back to Ash Tree. That should be enough. It's not a lot, but it'll be enough for my desire of having some. Because it'll drive me crazy if I have absolutely none. And this will fix this from having absolutely none. Alright, one more inventory and we're back to Ash. So how much more knowledge do we need until we hit the threshold? Counting the 5 and 7%, hopefully 7. Well, definitely 7. Why am I saying hopefully? That's definitely going to be only 7 then. It's not like he's going to go extra. 7% pots don't do that much extra. They do a little bit, but not that much extra. But yeah, 7 more knowledge points. Well, technically 6 if you count the one we're about to get. Which if you do it on Ash Tree, I think that's about 2 hours of woodcutting. Which means tonight we are definitely going to be getting on that carpentry grind then. Off stream. So that tomorrow we can do the same thing again, except actually realistically get it done. As ideally, we don't end tomorrow's stream until we have 200. That's the game plan. We should have the final prep for it done today, or later tonight, or tomorrow morning. I was hoping to be a little bit more progressed than where we are right now, though, but got a little busy today. But I should have a lot of time free tonight. Salute, Chad. Welcome, welcome. Hope all's been well. Yeah, one more set and we're back to Ash Tree. Pretty much until max. I could grab some pines on the way there, but I'd rather just get more carpentry supplies. I do need to down the line, but probably pre-200 is better just to do only ash. Well, I do need some of that material. I'll wait until after. Oh, we got a message. Ooh, from the Kale. You got a problem? How so? Did he buy the cape? Did he spend every last cent he has on the cape? Because 10 gold's pretty expensive, or however much those max capes are. The 500 capes. That's a pretty big chunk of money. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You did it. Alright, let's go back to Ash Tree now. I have no clue how many of these we got, but it's enough. Back to the better tree. This one's so much more chill, too. With cubable action with how AFK it is. It's not the best AFK tree, but it's pretty good. As I like the fact if you don't want a manual move over, you can just drink an XP pot and let the tree come to you. Whenever you're AFK in them, I tend to do that a lot more often. Just wait till the tree comes to you rather than move to the tree. Moving to the tree is better XP rate, but not moving slightly more chill, plus you can XP pot for free. I do have to say, I'm almost going to miss the woodcutting carpenter grind a little bit. I actually probably will prefer it over the fisher cooking grind, to be honest. Because these actually give you material that's relevant. These don't give you anything that's relevant at all currently, until it gets buffed. The main thing that would keep us motivated for doing this is the prospect that cooking will eventually not be useless at some point. But woodcutting carpentry is actually immediately useful. Whereas these do absolutely nothing in the current state of the game. Similar to Detective, where all three of them are basically just dead skills. Detective, Fisher, and Cook, until they update them to be not useless. The only reason Detective is our highest level is because I need it for when we do 500 combat in Chronopolis. Just so we can get Detective for free along the way. Not because it's useful to have a high Detective level, but because if we're doing combat there anyways, we might as well get it for free. But yeah, aside from if we want to get some carpentry supplies for anything in Chapter 3, and of course when we do the 500 combat in Hope Forest, we won't need to come back here for quite a while. Because if we do 500 guard, and obviously 200 all for these, we're probably basically Hopeport locked for the next, like, month and a half. The only main exception is if the combat rework is far enough away that we can get a bunch of mining and smithing done. Because I'm always going to be poking that as we do the combat grind. If we ever feel an urge to do skilling, we're going to be doing mining smithing. So we can keep getting it up. I do have to say though, out of any combat in the game, I'm dreading Hope Forest the most. As it seems like the least exploitable area for combat. There's a lot of enemies that are actually pretty annoying to kill here, compared to an average area. But it's because it has no stationary unit that just doesn't hit you back. I said, hello, MK Jets. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, my bud is here. Have we not added them yet? Have they tried to add me? Oh, they have. I need to go add them. Have I not added my bud yet? I need to go clear my list later. Something I keep putting off. We can actually see how many of our friends are not on leaderboard by clicking this. There's still 37 of them on our list somewheres that we could remove. Technically, we could also do it based on the lowest in some category. Though maybe not, because he's actually someone we definitely want to keep around in Duff 1PM Twisty. Some people just keep it like really low. Because we can also do it based on like inactivity to a degree. Because we can kind of assume this person doesn't play anymore. They're level 383 total. Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it too. Lowest total. Like Nature Bob and Hammer Bob. I know, we gotta get rid of the Bobs. But yeah, this might be the new way that we could do it as well. I'm not gonna completely do it this way though. But if we have no clue who to get rid of, these are generally the people who aren't really playing anymore. Let's see. Somewhere's on here. There he is. We have found him. All right, I'm a button. Success. There we go. We're not gonna kick all of them based on that, though. There's just some people pretty low there that I definitely wouldn't kick. Like Duffel and, who's the other one there? There's someone else we've actually seen a lot. I think it's because they're going for, like, only 500 chef. But they're just not playing as much. That's why their total level kind of looks so low. Gosh, I'm trying to get there. It was... Where are they? Not Duffel. Not Dirk. Oh, maybe it was someone else. Never mind. They're way higher then. It was like J something. JRK or something? Forget their full name. But they have like a really low total, but they've been just like rushing cooking. Which we'll probably see them on leaderboard. I think they're the next person to get 500 chef actually. If they haven't already gotten it. Oh, that might be a little bit lower, unless they already got it. Yeah, they did. It was Jas. There it is. Yeah, he already finished. Nice. I wonder what he's working on now. Because if you look at like everything else, it looks like he has like nothing. But then you see his chef level, it's like, oh yeah, he's just been camping chef forever. He really loves chef. I wonder if he's just done now for a little bit. Because he finally finished 500 chef probably a day or two ago or so. Not sure what his next goal is. Because his level distribution doesn't really give any hint to us to what on earth he's doing next. But he'll do something next. Yeah, the game plan for tackling 200-200 right now is we keep streaming for about another hour or so. Obviously, Mondays generally our shorter stream. Tomorrow we start around noon Eastern Standard Time and go essentially the entire day. Where ideally off stream I'll have 199 woodcutting and hopefully, fingers crossed, 184 carpentry. We might be a little bit lower than that by the time we start tomorrow's stream. But 184 is the magic number where we can actually go process this log that we're getting right now. And we are going to have a lot of this log banked. Like somewhere's in the thousands. So we really need access to that to actually get the level we need. Oh, it's gonna fill up our knowledge meter, isn't it? Yep. Alright, 5 knowledge points to go. And then we can get back to carpentry tonight. Not sure how far what we have banked is going to get us, but hopefully to 184. Or we got a slight problem. But whatever we don't have tonight, we'll do tomorrow. Hello, Sir Valiant. Welcome, welcome. Hope all's been well. Hey, how's everyone in the mining district doing? Yeah, even though lowest is all the way at 1069, nice. We actually recently passed into the 1,000 range. We're 1,002 now. We're almost double 1,000. Hello, Sonny, and thank you for the like. Really, really appreciate it. And yeah, we're still doing the Gems of War stream tonight. Just wanted to get our daily Brighter Shores in. Definitely at least to the 100-day mark. We will still be doing dailies pretty much after that as well. But it will be away for the 17th and 18th. Potentially even the 19th, but it should just be 17th and 18th. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention in the Gems of War video, by the way. I'll probably mention it on stream tonight. But keep in mind, there's probably not going to be a Gems of War stream, or any stream, on the 17th or 18th. As we're getting work done on the house. Mostly for mortar damage from the hurricane several years back. But also because they have to do the floor up anyways. We're just going to getting all the carpet replaced with wood. Since they're already going to have to tear into it anyways. And hopefully they can finish in 2 days. They said it would take like a day and a half. Originally they said like a day, now it's a day and a half, but there could be unexpected problems that make it take longer than 2 days. But as far as it's pretty chill. It's definitely grown on me from all this grinding, that's for sure. After 200 Gather, Woodcutting, and Carpenter has definitely grown on me a bit. I do feel like this chapter would be less fun if you had to deal with it only free to play though. Because half of Gather goes to chapter 3. And all of Woodcutting and Carpentry goes to chapter 3. This is a very awkward chapter if you don't have chapter 3. Which is every free to play player in the entire game. The only reason why there's some free to play players who have power grinded this is because they're Guardians. And power grinding chapter 2 as a Guardian sets you up perfectly for chapter 3 when you do buy membership down the line. Because you basically have 500 bone right banked already. Pre-banked before you even touch membership. Yeah, we keep getting free detective XP. Do we get anything good soon? 196, we got a new spotting thieves area that doesn't do anything. 315 is the next number that we could do anything with. It's a pretty good one. But it's still another 25 levels. It is so far away. Got your golden fishing rod? Nice. Yeah, that's something I might do for post 200 fishing. Actually, get the adventure unlocked. In case any of the upcoming quests in the next few months end up giving you more venture slots. Because if we get more venture slots without getting the merchant brick and tile one unlocked, I don't currently have anything good to use it on. And the next best thing to go use it on would be the 226 Fisher venture. So that we can start passively getting that up. What's the best forager tool to focus on enhancements? Oh, definitely the trowel. Especially if you're doing Fisher with Forager. But even if you're doing Forager only, the trowel is by far the best of the three. There are level ranges that use all of them, especially post 200 though. Like post 200, you will use all three. But pre 200, you can actually get away with trowel only, pretty much. I still need to go upgrade them slightly though. Like get them to level 10 and everything for the other two. But I would say you definitely use trowel the most. Especially if you're synergizing fishing with Forager. As every single fish uses either no tool or trowel. And nothing else. There's not a single fish in the game currently that uses the other two tools. But yeah, post 200 you would eventually need all of them though. For example, the first thing you do post 200 is with the secutors or whatever that thing is called. Whatever those little scissor looking things are called. As you need them for blood nettles. And then you need pond net as soon as you hit like pond weed at 246. But pre 200 you can ignore it pretty hard. Like, I literally have 0 tools in them right now. I was almost considering keeping them at 0, but I'm going to get them to 10 at least, as there are a few resources that we do need a touch related to them. But they're quite literally at 0 despite us having 100. You know, level 100. Yeah, there's almost no tools we really need now. Some of them post 200 we might need to mess with. Co-op net we might need to get to level 10. Fishing rod, if we really went deep into it, we'd probably need to get up. I haven't bought these 2 things yet, but if you can get an XP bonus on these ventures, I know you can't for detective, but if you can get an upgrade for fishing venture, not sure if you can, but if you can, doing those could be not horrifically bad. There's a lot of our post 200 fishing XPs probably could be from ventures. If we do want to get it up. As currently, there's only a handful of good ventures in the game. And if we have access to all 6, but only have about as many ventures as there are in the game right now, we definitely would need to incorporate the fishing ventures in there. Currently, there's only 2, but we don't know when we're going to get more unlocked. They could be quest rewards, they could be unlocked through other means. Probably quests, though. And I assume they'll unlock 1 at a time from various quests, but you never know. Like whenever Chapter 4 gets a quest related to the stone and bricks being unlocked, I wouldn't be surprised if that brings another venture slot, since you're unlocking a new venture. Now, Chapter 1 quest I'm surprised didn't give one, though it already has such a high reward system, I guess it makes sense. But I'm kind of surprised that Matubin's Legacy didn't give you another venture slot to go with the Brimstone. It just uses 1 of your 2 that you already have. Doesn't give you a new one. It gives you a new activity, but it doesn't give you a new venture slot. But to some degree it makes sense because that quest is already so bloated with rewards. Relative to its requirement, it's probably the most bloated quest in the game as far as rewards out of any of them. Not in the sense that it has the best rewards of any quest, but relative to how easy it is, it has probably the heaviest weighting of number of rewards. Yeah, they do get an upgrade, but I believe it's just for a different fish. Because that's how it works for the wanted poster. Where you get, like, several upgrades, but it's only for a better activity. It doesn't actually give you better XP rate, unfortunately. Or, you know, the activity does, but it doesn't give you, like, a flat, like, 5, 10, 20% extra or something. The extra XP is already accounted for in the activity itself. But it also means you can't enchant it, which is really weird because it kind of shows up on a page where you would assume it's enchantable, but it's actually not enchantable. I thought that for a while, and then I tried upgrading the stack here, and then it wouldn't let me. But it's actually not upgradable. Maybe they'll change that down the line. But currently, you cannot upgrade your ventures in the current state of the game. By upgrade, I mean enchanting them so it gives more XP. It's currently not doable. Otherwise, there'd be a good handful of them that actually would be worth upgrading. The fishing one being one of the big ones. The only problem with the fishing one is there's 2 different types, though. You'd get a lot more value if you could upgrade the detective one, which is what I tried doing one day and it didn't let me. But, because there's only 1 venture for detective, and they all use the wanted poster. But you can't actually enchant your unwanted poster currently. It literally has a symbol there as if you can, but you're not allowed to enchant it currently. Not sure if that's a bug or an oversight or what, but it shows an enchant symbol despite not being enchantable. Well, it could be the level range as well. Oh wait, do oysters take 24 hours? I always thought they were 12-hour. But the higher level range you go, the better the venture is. They also get spiked up a lot after 200. Like how much XP you get from ventures compared to pre-200. Yeah, that's why. Higher level ventures scale pretty nicely. You should always be moving to whatever your highest venture is for any given skill. It's one of the reasons I want to get towards about like 250, 322 merchant. As we can get a bunch of free merchant XP while getting material we need from perfect bricks and perfect tiles. It's a really big hole in the ventures for merchant right now. Because right now, the best venture we could possibly do for merchant, which is definitely not worth doing, would be cinnamon sticks at like 149. But if they were in the game, we'd actually be able to do glossy tiles right now. But they're currently not in the game, so we can't do them. The actual material of glossy tile is, but the actual activity for is locked behind a quest and or something else. But at 250 we can start doing perfect bricks, and at 322 we can start doing perfect tiles when they eventually get released. And that'll help fill out a lot of the middle of merchant. Because that's something that works pretty well for detective right now. A lot of the dead zones are actually filled out by the venture, oddly enough. Like this dead zone right here, which could be carried almost completely by the 412 venture if you really had to. If you wanted to do it over a long duration of time rather than rushing it. Because as we do the 500 all grind, I'll probably be constantly poking Chronopolis to whatever its next range is. Just so our detective XP can roll in as needed. It's the only one of the 500 all combats I'll be doing a little bit out of order. We'll always be poking Chronopolis. For one, initially, to mess around with stuff because it's by far our highest combat. But then after that, also because I need the detective XP at certain ranges. Either waiting for it to go up or, needing to do combat so that we can go get it up further. So there will be times where we'll get like 200, 200, 200, 500, and then we'll be at like 300 here, and it's like, oh, time to go back to Chronopolis for a little bit. And then we go back and finish that, and then do this slightly, and it's like, oh, back to Chronopolis for a little bit. Then we go do 500 there, and then, okay, time to finish Chronopolis. We're gonna have to do take away a little bit of time from those to go do detective some. Because there will be level ranges where we actually do want to go train it. That way when we go all the way all in on combat, we can just get it done. We only have to do that all the way till like 441. After that, we could do all the other ones prior, we're good to go. We're sorry, 451. But the biggest milestones to end up reaching is 315 SoonTM, as well as 412 at some point. And then at 412, we can kind of ignore it for a while and just let 451 trickle in. Yeah, a lot of fishing holes get filled too with all the ventures they have. Because you have 226 to start things off. Wait, where's the other lobster one though? Wait, where's the post 200 lobster? Okay, that one's actually really deep. Wait, where is the other lobster? I saw the oyster twice. Where's the other lobster? Oh, there it is. 331. Oh, that's actually a lot deeper. I didn't realize there was that big of a gap between them. It's over 100 level gap. Which I thought the 100 something level for mining was annoying. That's basically the same gap range. Like the gap between this 231 and the 380. But that one is even bigger though. The mining one's worse. The fishing one's like 107 difference or something. This one's 149 or something. Very big number. Yeah, the mining one's still worse. The fishing one's still big though. It's over 100 levels. It's not as big as the mining difference. None of the fishing gaps have felt too bad. I know it definitely feels worse for detective. Because not every training method is actually viable for detective. Both for active and for passive, which is really annoying. It's actually the only skill in the game that has a dead passive. That being forensics. So the thing that you can normally use to fill a gap, you can't even use to fill a gap. And then you're in like a mega dead zone. Yeah, forensic is never worth it. The only time you would ever do forensics is if you're doing the 500 alchemy grind first. As there are some areas that you might consider doing the making of that potion while doing 500 alchemy. But unless you're making the potion from alchemy itself, it's not worth it. Or even then, it's barely worth it. And that's assuming you're buying everything from the shop, not gathering it. Because that wastes even more time having to gather everything. Armament mode's going to be crazy if you need the passive resources. Well, generally the way that you do it now is you just buy the ingredients from the shop and then make it through potion making, or you know, through alchemy. Like, you don't gather the material for the potion, you simply just buy it from the shop and then do the AFK activity into the AFK activity. Otherwise you have to do an AFK activity into an AFK activity into an AFK activity. But normally you skip one of them just to buy it from the shop. Not the potion from the shop, but you know, the ingredients to make the potion from the shop. There's a lot of activities that you do that for. Like when you do the bone right smithing and stonemason AFKs that require material. Normally you just buy it from the shop and don't bother mining it. It's just generally way better just to go and do the production AFK rather than mining then the production AFK. I normally just want to go to the final step. But pretty much every single gathering skill's 8th key is actually really bad value right now due to how the shop pricing is. Like, there's not a single one that's good. There'd still be instances where you'd probably have to utilize them. But they're all pretty bad value. Those being Fisher, Forger, Gatherer, Woodcutter, and Miner. All the ones that directly gather for something. To some degree also Merchant, just because it's such a quick skill. I said we'd reach around 193. Looks like we're about to get exactly that. So we're going to go for about a little over a half an hour then. Pretty much the end of the hour. But tomorrow we do not end stream until we see 200. Whatever it takes. We will get 200 tomorrow. And of course, I'll save 200 woodcutting for on stream. We'll get to like 199. There we go, 169, nice. Up another level, oh, back-to-back level. Nice, nice. And then we get another knowledge point. There's so many pop-ups. At some point we'll stop getting ads. How many more pop-ups does it want to give? Playing pop-up simulator. Imagine how much you could stall your character if you got a level for everything in the entire game. Imagine when there's like 20 chapters. And you then got a level in every skill in the game. You know how long you'd stall your character for? If it kept the same menuing system that it has now, your character would be stuck in about 3 minutes worth of menus, if not 5 minutes worth. It'd be really funny. You would have to have every single skill at not 500 though. But that'd be easy to do on like an alt account or something. But after there's like 10 or 20 chapters, try gaining a level back to back to back to back on every skill in the game. And then be stuck in like an infinite menu. Though I guess that technically wouldn't be possible. Because the most you could realistically do that for is 7. Because you'd be able to do 5 skills in one chapter. All back to back to back to back to back. But then also the 2 knowledge points. But you wouldn't be able to do more than that. So I guess the most you could technically ever chain is 7. Oh, sad. Yeah, I think that 7's the biggest chain you could ever get. But I'm pretty sure there's a way to interface stall it so you can keep stalling until you get to the other activities. I just generally haven't really tried doing so because it's annoying to stall them. Because there's no point, they just get in the way. It's like actively bad to stall those. As they make it so you can't use your next knowledge thing. Alright, what are we now? 3 knowledge points away from there. Which we probably won't be able to get this stream, but definitely need to tonight so I can do whatever we have banked right now. Because tomorrow we're pretty much doing only ash plank. Ash plank, and more ash plank. We're gonna be planking. Not the cutting of them, but the carpentrying of them. One really annoying thing about ash plank though for tomorrow is they're the less AFK one. Which I guess for on stream actually kind of works out, I guess. But they're the one that you have to do the full inventory, then immediately go sell them, then go do another inventory. Like it's a one-stepper instead of 2. Yeah, that's still the poll that we're going to do for tomorrow. What interfaces do you keep open? Do you keep left open? Right open? Oh, not what I wanted. Both open. Or, of course, none open. I feel like none open does look pretty clean. The main reason I always kept having this side open, though, is people would always ask what our stats are at any given time. So I always have that open. And then the other most useful one, which is your inventory, just to know where it's at. And also to be able to use potions. There's one thing that is going to be a little bit annoying, though. Because at some point, you won't be using potion from your inventory. You'll be using potion from your tool belt. Which means you're going to need to set up almost more like this at some point. So you can actually drink your potions from it, or however you do that menu. I guess there might still be an option to use it from your inventory. But obviously, if you have access to equipable potions, you're probably not drinking them from your inventory. Unless it's an activity that doesn't matter how many you get. Because there are still some activities where having potion inventory isn't a detriment at all. Like what we're doing right now, it is. Because we get 2 less logs every cycle. But luckily those 2 logs are further away, so it's not that much of a loss not taking them. But it's one of those situations that if we had equipable potions, you definitely wouldn't have any potions in your inventory when doing what we're doing right now. Because then you can get a perfect 6-6-6-6. And not need to do a 3-6 with 1-4. I know we keep stepping on the fox. It has no hitbox. So we keep walking through it. Same as the bunny. What are creatures we're going to see in next chapter? Because a lot of it's underground. So we might see some moles or something. Oh, mole boss 2.0? Actually, when was mole added to that game? I want to say 2004, 2005. The mole boss. I actually don't remember. I was trying to think of animals that live underground in like a cave system. I might see bats or something. The problem is there's no ceilings in this game. There is no skybox. So if they are up there... though technically there are bats in the game. They're in Mind Matubin. Their solution to that was to put them in little enclaves in the wall. Since there's no ceiling. It's something that might feel weird about some of the parts in next area. Because Mine's Bitumen was entirely 100% inside. But next chapter looks like it's a combination of inside and outside. And when I say inside, I mean like inside of a cave. I wonder how they're going to establish that, given that there is no ceiling. So they really have to establish the difference between what's outside mountain and what's inside cave. Without having a ceiling. Which is definitely doable. I was curious how they go about it. We'll find out next chapter. Okay, so if we do get 193 now, then 6 levels later is like, what, 3 hours? Then the rest goes into carpentry. How much time do we think we'll have spare between now and then? Probably like 6 hours? So it's only like 3 hours of carpentry then. Is that enough? It doesn't sound like enough. Because at best, that gets us to what? We get like 2 more levels from that, 3 from that. Would be 6-ish, 8-ish? We'd still be like 5 carpentry levels short. So I somewhere have to find like 2 to 3 more hours. I somehow have to find 8 hours between now and when we click start stream tomorrow. But oh well, whatever we don't do tonight, just gets done tomorrow's stream. I was like, I feel like I keep underestimating XP rates though, but I'd rather underestimate than overestimate. There's a lot of skills, I just do the math based on only giving 2 levels an hour, not counting knowledge. Maybe a lot of times it is quicker than that. Like right now, we're gaining more than 2 woodcutting levels even with no knowledge into it. Also, if we can just scrap together 2 more knowledge points. Ooh. Alright, maybe we'll go until we get 2 more knowledge. Beyond this one that we were about to go use. Because if we do that, that gets us to 170 carpentry. And that number is very relevant because it allows me to start using what I have banked later. As it gives us a Suave pole into you. And then hopefully these two gets us really close to Ash playing. We're kind of locked out of carpentry until we get that level 170. And then we should pretty much have 200 banked. Yeah, let me use a bigger pot here. Just so we can save the end for the double. Yeah, we're gonna keep going until we get double knowledge then, however long it takes, off of Ash Tree alone. Starting from 9%, going all the way to 200%. And that gets us to our 170 that we need. So after doing all this grind, it still surprises me how far some people are ahead. It still never baffles me how high some of these levels are. Like the fact that there's 6 people at 4,000. And we only like just now hit 3,000 pretty much. You guys have to keep in mind how much slower it is beyond like 3,600. Like right around here is like the slowdown point. That's why you see like 4 or 5 people at 3,600 right here. Like this is the slowdown point of you're pretty much 200 all. You might not exactly be 200 all, but you're probably pretty close if not exactly. If we go check someone else here, I'm pretty sure they actually are 200 all. Like let's do, I don't know, what's a good example here? I'm trying to think of someone here who actually probably is closer to that. Kiv might be. Yeah, as you can see, 200, 200, 200, 200, 200. Gather got a little bit higher because they're probably a Guardian. 200, 200, 200. Yeah, they are a Guardian. You can tell between the Carpentry and Bone Right as well. They're like almost straight 200s. But that's when you start hitting the slowdown range at around 3,600. Like everything below that is way slower. Which is why there's such a concentration of 3,200 right there. Or sorry, 3,600 I mean. Because that's the slowdown zone. Everything beyond here, you start gaining levels way slower. As every skill you have is a post 200 skill by that point, pretty much. We're getting there. Though for us, it's going to be close to like 3,800. Just because we have a lot of post 200s already. But there's still something else I'm considering too. Given the way that we're going to be playing the 2 alts in the going forward, we're definitely going to be prioritizing gathering skills over production skills going forward after we have 200 all. But the main exceptions being smithing and armor maker. But nearly every other production skill I'm probably just going to do on the alts. Or just have them AFK to what we need. Starting with Bonewright Stonemason. Then likely doing Alchemist Carp. Then whatever 2 we have by chapter 7 or 8 by then. Because honestly, it'll probably be that far in the future. Is even just us having 500 Bonewright and Stonemason on the 2 alts. We're talking like September, October of this year. Like we're talking a time frame of like 8 months from now. That way we can have all the gathering on our main account. And whenever we need it processed, we just give it to the alts. So we don't have to pay someone a processing fee. Unless people's processing fees are that cheap, that doesn't really matter. But I'm pretty sure it's high enough that you'd still want to do it yourself. Because the only productions I'm probably going to be getting really high is smithing, leatherworker, and armor maker. Those are the only 3. At least that we know of. And chef's kind of useless right now. The only other exception is maybe alchemy. But my hesitation to get alchemy up is I need to wait till chapter 6 and see what they do. If they combine, or you know, if chapter 6 gets combined into this one, I will probably do alchemy on this account. If they add alchemy part 2 in chapter 6, I'm just doing alchemy part 2 on this account, just skipping alchemy part 1. Because I don't want to get super deep in this if they're going to be combining chapter 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and so on and so forth into this thing. But assuming they're adding another skill, then yeah, I'll just do that other skill instead then. There's a lot less people will have it up by then. Or there's a ton of people will have a really high alchemy by like chapter 5 or 6. Particularly by chapter 6. Oh, so I really need to be doing the cooking contracts. I haven't touched these in like 4 or 5 days, I think. By the end of this grind, I'm just gonna have to do cooking normally. Which sounds like a nightmare. But we're going to have to. I'll probably dump knowledge into it as we're doing it, though. But at 144, we start doing eggs. I believe at 170, we start doing bacon sandwich. I do bacon sandwich all the way to 200. We still have to throw contracts in between, though. There is something I do want to check, though. Oh, no, it won't be. Never mind. I was going to say, is it worth doing leopard eels? No. It definitely isn't. Because we're going to get a lot of them while doing fishing. Well, a lot of them's not the right term, but some amount more than 0. But I don't think it's worth buying them. Because we still need to get all the jelly and everything. Because unless that XP rate is substantially higher, it's not worth it. I was hoping there would be a bigger gap between them. But they're actually both nearly the same level. Which is not ideal. Oh, let me go check real quick. I'll bring up Chef. No, not the Andrew Gower thingy. Not the combat rework. Looking for Chef. There's no way this is particularly higher. But it's worth a shot. It's worse! No way. No, I'm looking at the wrong one. It's still worse! Wonderful. I'll scratch that. That's funny. Wait. Does that assume we're buying the eels from the thing, though? Okay, it's not that much worse then. How much more XP are you getting? That's what I should look at. Oh, no, it's still worse. It's like 100 better XP, not even. Yeah, it's horrible. But yeah, we basically have to bake a sandwich the whole way. I'm just trying to see if there's like any other alternative to save us. Is there anything that doesn't burn that much money? Technically, lobsters are better if you don't mind insanity. But technically, lobsters are better. I wonder if that assumes doing 888 into 24 lobster. Because I believe to do the lobster, you just have to cut the lobster, combine the creams together 3 times. Because you need to do like cream, a wine, and like some kind of butter or something. Like you combine that into a sauce. But you would do 3 sets of them. Because I don't think the wiki's showing it for 3 sauce into 24 lobster. Into a 12-12 make. I assume it's doing it based on 6. Like 6 of each. I don't know, does that actually save time, though? Compared to doing 6 each? I guess it doesn't. So yeah. I guess that we could do that. It would be a lot more click intensive. It'd basically be running simulator. You also make less money from it. It's like 100k better cooking XP per hour. It's like over 10% better. Which sounds worth. Because I believe that's the best option you have basically to max. I mean, no, 200 when I say max. Yeah, not counting the one that you could do all the way at the end, but you'd burn too much if you don't have the leak already. Which I believe requires 2-8 gatherer. So yeah, that lobster is technically our best option all the way to max from there. It actually profits as well. The only thing is it's a really annoying to make. Because you can only make 6 at a time. But its XP drop is high enough that it's worth it. But you'd have to do bacon sandwich from 170 to 184 then. So our path is basically eggs. Or well, our path right now is basically stew to 144 plus, you know, throughout we'll also be doing bounties. But yeah, we'd have to stew to 144, egg till 170, and then bacon sandwich till lobster at 184. Then we'd have to do the annoying lobster all the way to max. Unless we're going to tangent to go do 208 Gatherer just to go do 3 cooking levels. Which for post 200 cooking would work, but not pre 200. Not going to do that much excess. That's way too overkill. It is exceedingly overkill. Alright, one more knowledge meter and we'll probably call it for now. And then I'll go grab a quick bite to eat, go do the other stream. And then later tonight I'll go and grind out the rest that we need. Get to 199 woodcutter. Get as close to 184 carpentry as we can. And then whatever is not done we finish tomorrow. And then we immediately just go back to Hopeport. I still haven't decided which one I want to prioritize the most. I'm leaning towards Forager. Of the 3 we have remaining, I'm considering Forager first. Not all the way to max. I want to get this beach shell upgrade. I want 149, I think it was. Yeah, 149. Potentially 131, but it only helps one of them. But I want 149, I think. As there are two fish that utilize it. Manta rays and Gennards. The only AFK fish that you wouldn't need to do it on is, or that you need the kelp for, would be the flounder instead. But worst comes to worst, I can do like the level 77 shells I can currently do on the beach. Which is not great, but I guess it's better than nothing. Because our best option to take on the beach would be this shell, the bowl shell. There's another shell upgrade, but you don't get it till way later. I forget what level, though. That's way too high. You would already have the kelp upgrade by then. Yeah, you don't get the shell till 185. You would get the kelp way earlier. But it's not worth going all that way just for flounder kelp. We'll just have to do the really low tier shell instead. Did I even try to skip flounder? I don't think you can, though. And that's this near eel puffer. Can you skip the next flounders? 118 to 123. Yes. You can pretty much skip that flounder. You're only there for 5 levels. It's not that long. Let's see. Can you skip the other flounder, though? No. That one you cannot skip at all. You're stuck there from 172 all the way until, wow. Until eels at 186. Okay, that's when we would need the other forager grind done. Oh, wow. Okay, we're basically bottlenecked up to 176 fish, or 172 fishing. Until we get that forager level up from there. I feel like by then it would get up to there, though. But yeah, you 100% need that kelp upgrade by then. Otherwise your XP is like negative. Well, another nice thing about that too is I believe that kelp is for the 29% heal pots. Or the 32%, whatever they are. Like the second best healing potion in the game. So we're actually going to be banking something kind of useful. Normally when I'm doing flounder kelp, I don't bank them. But I would actually need to bank those, as they're really good. They're only 3% worse than the best heal pot in the game. And they're made twice as quick, which is nice. I'm not sure when you're going to need heal pots anytime soon. Because there's like 0 content announced anytime soon. Where you're actually going to need a heal after the combat rework. There's one thing that's going to be really weird about the combat rework. Is healing potions basically don't exist anymore until bossing and or PvP and or other content comes out where durability actually matters. As long as you kill the enemy before they kill you, your healing and everything else doesn't even matter. This is going to be everyone just running glass cannon builds. Everyone's just going to be just rushing down every enemy with special attacks and everything else. Kiting them around with higher attack speed and infinite ammo. Or speccing them before they could even do anything. But yeah, combat's going to be really funny. I don't think there's going to be a single day more broken than like day 1 of combat when the skill trees drop. It's going to be really hilarious. Assuming special attacks come out on the same day. As the lack of balance is going to be so high. Like, obviously they're going to try to balance it to some degree. But the amount of power you're going to have then compared to now is astonishingly high. Even if they try to hold it back, it's still at least like 10, 20, 30% better than now. If not higher. It's impossible that it's going to be worse than now, that's for sure. It's more so like, how much better is it? Oh, and how tight some of the margins are on battles. Being 10 or 20% better is so much stronger. When the margins on some battles are only like a few percent. We're almost there. 50% more meter. I think we got three more inventories? Maybe 4 max. Yeah, looks like we got to 194 woodcutting too, which is nice. You pick up the other 5 later. And then the final one tomorrow. And then we can finally start doing carpentry again. Gosh, we're gonna have to do so much carpentry tomorrow. It's the day I've been dreading this entire grind. It's finally tomorrow. We will be able to finish, which will be fun. But I think we have to do like 6 hours of carpentry. If not more. Like, if you count what we're doing tonight, I think it's like 10 hours of carpentry. But about 5 to 6 of it will probably be on stream. Because I'm not doing the whole 170 to 300 tomorrow. I mean, 200 tomorrow. Some of that will be done tonight. Just so it's not as intimidating. Also, so we actually physically have enough time. Because there's a chance we don't have 200 banked. Which means we have to go do even more woodcutting just to go get more banked. And the worst part is I can't even do the pines at 197. Because even though the woodcutting's 197, the carpentry is until 200. And it doesn't help us get to 200 because it's already at 200. This is one of those situations where if they added boost potions, this would be a perfect time to use them. As we'd want to use anywhere from a +1 to a +5 boost so that we could do this pine pole early. So that the pines that we get from 197 to 200 could be used at pre-200 carpentry. Because currently you can't. But if they ever add an active boost potion, you will be able to. If that comes in with Chapter 6 with Alchemy Part 2 or whatever they do. But as it currently stands, there's no way to actively boost your skills. I assume he's eventually going to have a +1 to 5 boost for it, though. He did in his other game as well. They were pretty notoriously done with stews. I assume they will be done in a way less annoying mechanic this time around, though. Ideally just attached to Alchemy Part 2. Because, gosh, was that stew mechanic the most annoying thing ever. So much so, I basically don't even bother boosting in old school RuneScape. Luckily, they've added alternatives that have, like, flat numbers. Some existed back in the day, some of them didn't. But now almost every skill has like a 3 to 5 boost that you can do 100% of the time without needing to worry about the annoying stews. But no, if he ever does add active boost potions to Brighter Swords, it's definitely going to be through an alchemy-like skill. Not sure if he's going to add it in Chapter 6, but I do feel like they would eventually add it to something potion-making related. I really do hope Chapter 6 does get a new alchemy skill, though. Mostly because that means every 5 chapters, at 6, 11, 16, so on and so forth, are going to be really hype because they're going to drop like a whole array of new potions, which leaves so much design space as far as what you could do for that. I wonder if they'll take community feedback on it before Chapter 6 or something. Like what kind of potions they want people to see. Or, you know, like what potion people want from new potions and everything. Not sure if they would do that for Chapter 6. But I feel like they definitely would by Chapter 11. But if Chapter 6 does definitively get a second potion-making skill, I hope they ask the community what they want from it. Because I am curious to see what would actually come out of it. Because there's a lot of good ones that could be added. My #1 vote would be aggro potions, though. Basically opposite of Fear Potion. For 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15 minutes. Where instead of making it so enemies don't attack you, it makes it so enemies perpetually attack you without having to click. Basically raid dens, but perpetually for the entire duration of the potion. Because 9-minute versions of those, given that item spawns on the ground stay for 10 minutes, is going to be so good. It'd be the most useful potion pretty much in the entire game. The only one that would be more useful is like a special attack potion. Where whatever the special attack meter is that they're going to be doing for special attacks, you can just like instantly get up by drinking a potion. But a 9-minute AFK potion sounds so good. You just drink it as soon as you hear the sound of the potion going away. You simply go check all your loot off the ground. Pick up anything of value. Drink another 9-minute potion. Rinse or repeat. Not counting picking up your loot off the ground, you would only have to do, what is that? 5.5 clicks per hour. Which would be so nice. And you could do it on any enemy in the game that isn't a boss or anything. Like all the standard enemies. Yeah, I think this is our last set. Not this one, the one after this one. As that gets us to our 170 Carpenter goal. I am heading back to smithing AFK though, because we're about to go do the Gems of War stream in like an hour. But after I finish that and relax for the night, we are going all in on carpentry off stream. Pretty much until I crash of exhaustion. I wish more people would make Brighter Shores videos though. I always keep checking like the Brighter Shores tab on YouTube. And then it's like, oh yeah, there's like almost nothing new. Because almost no one's playing. Player base, come back. Because I've been actually watching a lot of the series that everyone has done. Even ones with like a single-digit number of views. I don't always watch through all of them, of course. But I've been like peeking at some of them here and there. I haven't seen any Twitch content for the game yet, though. I only ever check YouTube. Oh no, I'm just not a big fan of Twitch. Like, I never use Twitch, plus I never stream on Twitch. But it's also because I just never use Twitch either. I think the main thing I hate about Twitch is that it's basically forced live in a sense. So if you go away for even like half an hour to an hour, you just miss the half an hour to an hour. Whereas YouTube has rollback and everything else like that. Because Twitch doesn't even have rollback. Like, you can't actively watch a stream and roll back like 10 minutes or something. Whereas you can on YouTube. And of course, after the fact, you can see like the whole thing at any point. Alright, there we go. 170. Okay, let's go finish this inventory. Since we're already here. Because normally when I'm watching content like that, I'm multitasking multiple things at once. So it's harder for me to keep up with a live stream that doesn't have any amount of rollback. Which is basically every live stream on Twitch. But YouTube has it for pretty much every live stream. You have to enable or disable it, but most people keep it enabled. This is one of the few features that's actually better with YouTube than Twitch. Alright, well, let's head to the mines. Which I'll use this teleport. It's actually closer. I was going to bank at the mining location, but I'm pretty sure the mining bank is a little bit further than this bank. Even though there's a carpentry bank there, that only works on carpentry supplies, not logs. Alright, let's bring it back to the smithing AFK. So we got 7 gold. I kind of keep forgetting. We keep getting a lot of money from carpentry. Has it been selling out a lot more than I initially anticipated to? So we've actually been making a little chunk of money. Not a lot, but it's enough to pay for everything we need. For Fisher and Forger to get to 200. As far as like the level 10 tools and the other small upgrades and everything. Yeah, when's our adventure ready? 2 hours and 22 minutes. I gotta remember to go do that. Because I have a feeling I'm going to forget. But in 2 hours and 22 minutes, I gotta go remember to take the ventures. So we don't have to do it in like the middle of nowhere tomorrow. But anyways, guys, tomorrow's goal, we do not click end stream button until we have 200 woodcutting carpentry. We'll start around noonish, and I don't care how long it takes. Whatever grind we don't have done, we'll get done tomorrow. We got exactly 10 on the dot. That should be way more than enough for now. I do need to buy more for before tonight, though. But for now, that is way more than enough. But anyways, guys, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow around noon Eastern Standard Time. And, yeah, we will get 200 woodcutting on stream tomorrow and 200 carpentry on stream tomorrow. Whatever we don't have done by tonight. And, of course, I will save the 200 woodcutting for tomorrow, of course. I won't get it tonight. I'll definitely get it, like, a little bit higher, but not all the way to 200. So I'll finish out that for, like, an hour or so tomorrow. And then the rest of the stream is just pure carpentry until it's done. Whatever it takes. But that is the game plan. Anyways, but yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, noon Eastern Standard Time, around the same time we normally are. Beyond that, we'll have the Gems of War stream as we do every single night in about an hour from now. And I'm about to go grab a bite to eat. Anyways, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching.